Hello, good afternoon and good morning in Australia, and also good evening in Europe. Welcome to Lam Rim meditation and Lam Rim teachings today. So today I would like to talk about the great scope of Lam Rim Bodhicitta. Also, I like to offer Bodhisattva vow, and those of you who have not received before, you can receive it today. And those of you received Bodhisattva vow in the past, you are renewing your Bodhisattva vow today. So it is a very good time and auspicious time. Every time you take Bodhisattva vow or renewing the Bodhisattva vow is a very special time and auspicious time. So before you take Bodhisattva vow, we will now chant the mantra of Shakyamuni Buddha, and we pray to Shakyamuni Buddha and visualize Shakyamuni Buddha in front of us. So first, you imagine you are in this beautiful environment, beautiful place, and the place is beautiful, and what it means that what is beautiful, what is not beautiful is it's all relative and depends on our mind, right? And so if you imagine the place where you are is good place for Dharma practice, beautiful place, and it is very providing facilities and conditions for meditation, for Dharma practice, and then it is beautiful. And beautiful doesn't mean have to be some kind of colorful or with lots of flowers and rainbows and so forth, right? Beautiful. And it's something that is very supportive for your mind and healthy and good environment. Okay, so imagine you're in a beautiful place. In front of you, there's a beautiful space, blue space, blue sky. Here we visualize Shakyamuni Buddha. He is sitting on the lotus and moon cushion, and he is about, say, 10 feet from us, above us, in front of us, and he's facing to us, we're face to face. Shakyamuni Buddha sitting on the lotus and moon cushion, wearing beautiful saffron and burgundy and golden color of robes. And he has one face, two arms, and his skin is golden color. It's called golden complexion or reflection, and he has all the 30 major marks of the Buddha and 80 minor marks of the enlightened Buddha, physical marks, and he has a top knot, and like Ushanisha, when I say top knot, I don't mean that with the long hair, but it's an Ushanisha. That's a Sanskrit word. Tibetan word is tuktor, and he has a long, beautiful, long ear loops, and right hand is touching on the floor, on the lotus cushion, and touching the earth, blessing the earth. Left hand is holding beautiful bowl with nectar of longevity, nectar of good health in his left hand, the bowl of nectar. In other words, the bowl is filled with beautiful nectar. And So Buddha Shakyamuni, he represents all the Buddhas of the past, present time, and future time. He is here in front of me. Then he is the object of my taking refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. He is also the object of receiving Bodhisattva vow. Okay. So Tibetan word is Jangchu, to send Bodhisattva vow. Yeah, so you are taking Bodhisattva vow, you are receiving Bodhisattva vow, and renewing Bodhisattva vow. So imagine, visualize Shakyamuni Buddha right now in front of us. And now we chant the mantra. Om Muni Muni Maha Muni Soha. 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 Om Muni 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 Maha Muni Soha. Om 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 Muni Muni Maha Muni so Om Mahamani so Om Mahamani so Om Mani 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 Mahamani so. Okay, we have recited the mantra of Shakyamuni Buddha. So, those of you who wish to take Bodhisattva vow today and wish to renew Bodhisattva vow, then you follow my instruction. And anyone here today do not wish to take Bodhisattva vow, that is fine, no problem. And those you already have Bodhisattva vow taking before, then why not renew? It's always good to renew. And those of you who have not received before or don't want to receive right now, that's fine. You can watch, make your what do we call observation, which is fine. Then maybe some point in the near future you wish to take Bodhisattva vow. There might be a good thing to do. And now, right now, you're observing. It's like a kind of studying, right? So those of you renewing Bodhisattva, I use the word renewal. Renewing is very important. Tibetan word for renewal is called nyamba, sowa. Sowa is actually means like say you have a bowl, you have a pot of soup, and it's cold. Now you warm up, it's a soa. Or you have a pie or cake or something, you warm up in the oven, and then it's ready to eat. It's a delicious food to eat. And or your hand is cold, your body is cold, and then you drink a cup of tea, and wear warm clothing, and start fire in your house. The soa means you keep warm, keep renewing the energy, the heat, and so forth. And kind of tune up, like in terms of like when we're talking about car, you need to tune up, right? Or house, you need to renovating the house, kind of like that. And renewal, it's important to renew, because if you don't renew, then in case if the thing is what you have is damaged or weakened, or like, for example, material things, and it is important to renew and repair, right? Likewise, a bodhisattva vow, tantric vow, refuge vow, or any kind of vows you have taken before, and practice, whatever practice you do, it is good to renew the energy, and you sort of overview it, look at, see the condition of your Dharma practice, or condition of your refuge vow and bodhisattva vow and tantric vow, see how active it is or how strong it is. It is not kind of degenerating or declining or neglected, then good. And if it's neglected or forgotten or broken samaya, broken vow, then it's important to renew. So samaya is a Sanskrit word. Tibetan word is tamsik songwa. Tamsik nyamba sowa. And tamsik samaya, nyamba is like degenerated or broken. Sowa is renewing, right? So that's important. and so that we have to keep it live and fresh, right? If you don't renew, and then if it degenerate, then it's keep going down and down. And if it's gone down too far, way to then it's harder to renew. And just like you have a car, is if you don't take care, and then things are fall apart or maybe get rusted, and then slowly get worse, and then cost more time and money and so forth to repair. So it's the same kind of thing. And this is why we use the word Nyambasoa. And there's another Tibetan word is called Sojong. 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 So is again same word. Jong is purifying. Soa and Nyambasoa, and then Jongwa is purifying. For example, according Vinaya tradition, the Vinaya Sutra and the Vinaya tradition, Tibetan word is Dulwa. Dulwa means Sem Dulwa or Sem Dulwa. Means subdue your mind and keep your mind is live and fresh, and then also keep your vows and discipline and self confidence, self discipline. Everything is keep it in good shape, and sojong. And for example, in the Vinaya tradition, the tradition of the monasteries, the monks and nuns vows, you have to renew, especially in a monastery, monks vows you have to renew every fortnight, and twice a month you renew your vow, and so everybody has to renew. Doesn't matter high lama or senior geshe or highly realized person or simple monk or novice monk or nun. Everybody gathered together in front of the Lord Abbot, and Kempo in Tibetan word, Kempo. And then also in front of the shrine and the image of Shakyamuni Buddha, then you renew your vow. That's called sojong. So you have to recite the confessions, and there's lots of words. And then you have to do lots of prostrations, and then towards the end, the abbot will recite the do, sojong do, and social therapy do, actually, and the sutra of Vinaya and sutra of individual liberation, social therapy. So social therapy means individual liberation. What it means is that when you keep the vows and you practice the vows, and then it is the keeping the vow is the method of liberating oneself. And the vows are important, and we keep the vows because vows are boundaries. We need a boundary, right? And if we don't have boundaries, then we could degenerate our meditation or Dharma practice. So we need to abstain from certain things and keep certain things, keep the vows. I won't go into the details. So you have the vows. So sojong is you renew soa, the vows, and jong is purify your mind, purify your speech, purify your body, and purify the broken samaya, broken vow, purify unwholesome karmas that involved with body, speech, and mind, broken the samaya, broken vows through our bodily conduct, and through speech and through our own mind, negative mind or emotions, and then we need to purify that, and so the purification is called jongwa. So this is how it is done, and according to Vinaya tradition, and so then likewise in the Bodhisattva tradition we also do sojong, And Tantric tradition, we do Sojong as well. They're all a little different. The traditions are different. But basically, as I said, So means renewing, Jong is purification. In Tantric term is Samaya. Okay, so this time we have recited the mantra. Now, those of you who are going to receive Bodhisattva vow, I would like to ask you to imagine in front of you or visualize. So this is I'm speaking to you right now on YouTube, and those of you are with me right in front of me, who can see my face, you can hear my voice, you can see me, and then it's alive, and you are taking Bodhisattva vow, you are receiving the Bodhisattva vow, and today's world we're using social media and technology, which is some ways kind of how should I say, inconvenient, or maybe because you're not right in front of the Lama. But at the same time, the advantage of this is you could be on the other side of the world, like in India, I'm in Canada, or you're in Australia, I'm in Canada, 10,000 miles away. We can see each other's face due to the technology. So it is great. We use technology for the good purpose and material things for good purpose. Technology is not evil. Money is not evil. World is this is how it is. What makes virtues, what makes non-virtues, it depends on our motivation, depends on what we are doing here. And so here we're using the technology for purpose of dharma practice, purpose of receiving bodhisattva vow, and in order to cultivate bodhisattva vow, and we use technologies, and we use YouTube, we use Zoom, and we use different kinds of programs, events here, and which is smart thing to do, and I think it's good, and when you don't have much choice, and especially at this point, this time, in a strange time of pandemic. So now I would like to ask you to, when you repeat the Bodhisattva vow in front of me, then imagine Shakyamuni Buddha sitting in front of you. And as I described before, then he is surrounded by many other Buddhas, peaceful Buddhas, wrathful Buddhas, Yidam deities, Bodhisattvas, and Dakas, Dakinis, Dharma protectors, and many more. And then, of course, the gurus, your own guru and the lineage gurus, everybody's right there in front of you. And then now you repeat after me. So first I will say in Tibetan one time, then I will say, then I will say in English twice. So you have to repeat 3 times. So first, I will say in Tibetan. Please repeat in Tibetan if you can. Kunjo sumla, dakjab chi, dikba tamje, so sha, doye gela, ji yerang, sangye changchup, yiji zong, sangye chodang, sokcho la, changcho bado, dakjab chi, rangyin dane, rabdru char, changcho choke, sem ne, jeje ne, sem je tamje, da ke, rundu nyer, changcho chocho, yewon, jebaraje, dola pencher, sangye, dobarasho. Okay. Now that's you said in Tibetan. Now you repeat after me in English. So what I'm saying, what I'm going to say in English is the same Bodhisattva vow. Basically the translation. Okay. I go refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I declare non-virtuous actions that I have committed in the past. I would like to rejoice the virtues and Dharma realizations of others. I will hold the Buddha and the body in my heart. I go refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. For the benefit of myself and all sentient beings. I generate bodhicitta. I will cultivate bodhicitta. I will invite all sentient beings as my special guests. I will cultivate bodhicitta. May I become Buddha. For the sake of all sentient beings. I will cultivate 6 perfections. Perfection of generosity and ethics. Perfection of patience and perseverance. Perfection of concentration and wisdom. May I become Buddha. For the sake of all sentient beings. Okay, so this is the second time. First time you say it in Tibetan, second time in English. Now you say third time again in English. Usually what I do is when there's more Tibetans, more Mongolians, and or people from the Himalayan region, Ladakh, Spiti, from Kinor Kalpa, and Bhutan, and Arunachal Pradesh, Mon, so on and so forth. I say in Tibetan, majority is Tibetan, and then translate it in English. But now today here, majority people who speak English, and so we say in English twice. So so third time now. But we already said you repeat it first time in Tibetan, second time in English, now third time in English again. Please repeat after me. I go refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha. I declare non-virtuous actions that I have committed in the past. I would like to rejoice the virtues and Dharma realizations of others. I will hold the Buddha and body in my heart. I go refuge to Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha until I reach enlightenment. I hold the Buddha and body in my heart for the benefit of myself and all sentient beings. I will generate bodhicitta. I will cultivate bodhicitta. I will invite all sentient beings as my special guests. And in order to share and generate bodhicitta. May I become Buddha. For the sake of all sentient beings. I will cultivate generosity and morality. Patience and perseverance. Concentration and wisdom. May I become Buddha. For the sake of all sentient beings. Okay, so that's good. Now there's another verse, couple of verses. Please repeat. I will translate for you. But first you repeat in Tibet. Sanje Chanchuk, Simbakun, Dala Gumbar, Zedu So, Chetan Munji, Deshi Ji, Janju Tugne, Jeva Dang, Janju Simbe, Laba La, Rimba Jindu, Neber Tar, Dajang Dola, Pendendo, Janju Simne, Jeji Shin, Janju Simbe, Laba La, Rimba Jindu, Labar J. Okay, so English translation is Buddhas. So you repeat this. Buddhas, and the English may not be, the sentence grammar may not be perfect, but you get the meaning, you understand meaning. So that's good. You repeat in English after me. All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pay attention to me.
All Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, please pay attention to me.
Just as all the Buddhas of the past took Bodhisattva vow, and practice the Bodhisattva way of life, step by step. So today I cultivate bodhicitta. I will generate bodhicitta. The way the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have accomplished in the past. And I will practice Bodhisattva's conduct gradually. I will practice 6 perfections gradually, step by step. May I become Buddha. For the sake of all sentient beings. Okay, so now you have received a Bodhisattva vow. If you're new, first time, you have received Bodhisattva vow, brand new one. Please imagine. Now, those of you received before, you imagine your Bodhisattva vow is renewed. Okay, so it doesn't take very long, does it? And so now I will say the verse two verses, and it's a kind of the closure of the taking the Bodhisattva vow. Chanchu sem chorem boche machi banam je juruchi je ba nyamba me ba yang kone gonda pe ware jo ama sem je tavan je de da de juruchi Nendo ata je da de don wa da Chanchu Simba Kana Sushupa Keda Kunje Molandu Jeje Jeje Jabo Tonka Be Chusu Namba Bewa Jeje Sema Shewada Tenje Malu Saware Sho Dada Yenje Du Sumdan Dave Sonye La Dini Jawa Lo Sam Dawaye Denba Yore Pejuji. Okay, thank you very much. And so you have renewed the Bodhisattva vow. This is good to do again and again. So now I will give some explanation on general explanation on Bodhisattva vow, or actually a practice of Bodhisattva, bodhicitta. Okay, so today I'm not explaining about the details of Bodhisattva vows, and most of you already studied, and these details are available in the text, traditional sources, the 18 root vows, and 46 auxiliary vows. So those details are available in many texts, and I think most of you already studied, and you can read them, and you can refresh your memories. So, when now the most important thing for us is to practice Bodhisattva vow, right? I mean bodhicitta, and we need to meditate on. We need to do analytical meditation on disadvantage of cherishing oneself, advantage of cherishing others. So cherishing, the Tibetan word is cherishing oneself is rang jinzin, and cherishing others is ye jinzin. Ye means others, rang is self. Jinzin means cherishing, holding it as a dear in your heart, dear one, and cherishing, right? So disadvantage of cherishing oneself. So we do cherish ourselves, right? In our human mind, natural thinking, natural thing. When you're born, after you're born, then you naturally think about yourself or myself, cherishing. Then that cherishing is slowly increasing as we're growing, and we have more involved with worldly activities, worldly thinking, or influenced by the world. Where our mind is influenced by the world, our mind is influenced by others through communication, through languages, through life, and through indoctrinations, or through influence. And then self-cherishing. We are going to the school of self-cherishing in a way, because everybody, not just myself, one person, 2, 3, 4, 5, you go to school, there's 100 students, they're all cherishing themselves. So we're basically going to school of self-cherishing, okay? And or if you don't go to school, you stay in the countryside as a kid, and with parents, and as a nomadic child or farmer's child, and whatever you do, doesn't matter what you do or don't do, we are still in a school of self-cherishing. So we are sitting around listening to the elders, and evening, morning, and they are talking about something about themselves, something about life, and worldly matters, right? And we're a part of the society, part of the world, the school of cherishing. And so is there a time or a moment that we're not cherishing ourselves? Is there a time or moment? And we need to meditate on that. And so, as I said, most of the time we are cherishing ourselves. So, is this wrong? Is this wrong? Cherishing oneself? Well, I can't say it's wrong, and but cherishing only myself and neglecting others, and no consideration for others, no sympathy for others, no empathy for others, and this is kind of wrong. I shouldn't say kind of, it is wrong. For example, how many people are sick right now from the pandemic? And right now, India is the worst, according to the news, right? And there's no room for people be keeping distancing. No room even to bury the bodies, and no room to cremate the bodies. And but some people still denying, saying the pandemic is not happening, COVID is false, and there's all these conspiracy theories. So that's from my. I'm talking from my point of view, and it is. I think is wrong. Either it is ignorant, or maybe arrogant, or maybe whatever, whatever the person is thinking, or maybe not so much even thinking, whatever the some kind of reaction. But basically, it is disrespectful for the deceased people, and and no sympathy or empathy for family and friends whose loved one is died, just died. I saw on the news one Indian man was saying, "My mother worked so hard, and she just got retired, and she now wants to have quality of life, spend time with my family, our family, and then she just got the virus, and she couldn't breathe, and she suffocated and lost her consciousness, died, and he was crying, holding the mala and some bracelet, necklace. This is my mother's mala. This is my mother's prayer beads. This is all I have now. My mother's gone. So it's heartbreaking, and you have to have some sympathy or empathy. Some people, they say, no, COVID doesn't happening. It's, so it's sad, it's kind of sad. So so have no consideration for other people, right? So then where are we now? So anyway, we most of have self-cherish. Everybody has self-cherish. I have self-cherish. I'm not saying I am a selfless person. I'm enlightened one, a holy one, this and that. Everybody have this. As I said, we all go through the school of self-cherishing, right? So I'm talking about disadvantage of self-cherishing. So according to Lam Rim teaching, Buddhist teaching describing, you look at yourself and you look at the bodhisattvas, you look at the Buddhas of the past, and there are all these thousands, hundreds of thousands, countless people become bodhisattvas, and countless people become Buddhas, right? Enlightened ones, holy person, saint, whatever you want to call, depends on the tradition. If you Christian tradition, you call saint, right? We call saint. In Tibetan Buddhist tradition, we call bodhisattva. And Theravadan tradition, called arahats. And Taoist tradition is a sage. And other tradition, many have a tradition, selfless person. So these people become enlightened people and become sage, become saint, become bodhisattvas, because they overcome self-cherishing, and they practice selflessness, practice bodhicitta, selflessness, genuine selflessness, and they care others more than themselves. This is how they become bodhisattva. This is how they become saints and enlightenment and become Buddhas. This is how described in Lam Rim tradition. That's the advantage of cherishing others. And disadvantage of of cherishing oneself. There's a disadvantage of cherishing oneself is that I'm still here in this world. I'm suffering. I'm part of the suffering. I'm going round and around a circle and going around in samsara. Why? Because I have been practicing self-cherishing. And as I said, I've been in a school of self-cherishing and never graduated from the school and never got out from the school of self-cherishing. And in other words, stuck in this world of self-cherishing. So I'm suffering due to my karma. I have created my karma and unwholesome karmas due to my self-cherishing, selfish mind. And so I'm suffering, physically suffering, mentally suffering, stress, this and that. And I don't have enough wisdom, not enough compassion, not enough power. And I don't have power like Vajrapani. I don't have compassion like Avalokiteshvara. I don't have wisdom like Manjushri Buddha. You know, there's a Buddhas, Manjushri, Avalokiteshvara, and Vajrapani. There are bodhisattvas also. Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, Bodhisattva Vajrapani, Bodhisattva Manjushri, Bodhisattva Samanthabhadra, Bodhisattva Akashagarbha, Bodhisattva Krishti Garbha, so on and so forth. These are all bodhisattvas. They are all cultivated bodhicitta, and they overcome advantage, the self-cherishing. So they practice bodhicitta, and they become bodhisattvas, become enlightened, become Buddhas. I'm still here. That's because due to my self-cherishing. And so the key thing and the sort of direct method to obtain a realization of bodhicitta, we have to deal with self-cherishing, trying to get rid of self-cherishing as much as possible and cultivate cherishing others as much as possible. Rang Chinzin Tor. Tibetan word Rang Chinzin means self-cherishing. Torva means give up, get rid of. Rang Chinzin Tor. Yen Chinzin Lemba Nyamsule. And Nyamsule means practice, like cultivating as much as possible every day. And maybe 3 times a day or 6 times a day. Say 3 times a night, 3 times a day, daytime. So you meditate on bodhicitta in the morning, first thing in the morning, then meditate on bodhicitta in the afternoon, meditate on bodhicitta in the evening, 3 times or 6 times. And like, for example, the Muslims, they pray 5 times a day. And we as a Buddhists, we do 6-session Guru Yoga. 6-session Guru Yoga. So 6-session Guru Yoga is not just Guru Yoga. It starts with the Guru Yoga, and there's a long version of the 6-session Guru Yoga, and there's a medium version of Guru Yoga, and there's a very short version of Guru Yoga, 6-session Guru Yoga. But it's not just Guru Yoga. Start with Guru Yoga, and then you are go through the details of Bodhisattva vow, refuge vow, and meditate on refuge, meditate on refuge, meditate on Buddha, visualize Buddha, and take refuge to Buddha as a teacher, take refuge to Dharma as a path, take refuge to Sangha as a spiritual community. Then you meditate on Bodhisattva vow, go through 18 root vows, and 46 auxiliary vows, and so on, Bodhisattva. And then you go through tantric vows. And again, the Bodhisattva was not 14 root vows, 18 root vows, 46 auxiliary vows. Tantric vows got 14 root vows. So go through this, and you do this like 3 times a day, 3 times a night. And in the shorter version, you don't go through all the details. You just sort of, there's this condensed version. You meditate on that, right? So, so the 6-session Guru Yoga is wonderful, wonderful practice, and method of keeping your Dharma practice on track, sort of speaking. On track, it means you're right on the path, right? And like say you're hiking, trekking in the mountains, you're on the trail, and you don't go off-road, sidewalk, off-road, right on the track. And when these days, when you go up high mountains, or like in Canada, when you go to the national park and hiking, there was always there's marks on the trees, the trail marks, so that you don't get lost, and which is very helpful. And all the national parks have those kind of trail marks. And you have a map, you have a GPS, or GPS may not work when you're in the high mountains or certain areas, right? So anyhow, so 6-session Guru Yoga is very important practice. I would like to encourage people to do the 6-session Guru Yoga. And those of you received higher tantric initiations of Guya Samaya or Heruka, Chakra Sambara, or Yamantaka, Vajrayogini, or Chitamanitara, Hevajra, so on. Usually you have you have vow to recite 6-session Guru Yoga, especially Yamantaka practice, Heruka, Chakra Sambara, and Guya Samaya practice. You have vow to do the 6-session Guru Yoga. And this is very important because some people ask questions. I get emails and I get messages, people saying, well, I don't know how do I keep my practice on the right track, and I'm now sort of lost, or haven't practiced for a while, or some people haven't practiced for a long time, don't know how to renew, how to resume, or how to go back to the path, and so what to do? And I say, do the 6-session Guru Yoga, start again. And you have not done practice in the past for a while, you stop practicing. That doesn't mean your practice is not qualified. You're not qualified to do the practice. That means that doesn't mean that you cannot do the practice. And you can start again. And one of my guru said to me, and he used to say, and for example, if you miss eating breakfast 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, does that mean you can't eat breakfast again? And just because you haven't ate breakfast, maybe you don't get up, and then you wake up just before lunch, and then no need to eat the breakfast, right? You just eat brunch or lunch. And and some people don't eat dinner because it's too late, or you don't want to eat 3 meals a day, too much food. You eat 2 meals a day. Perhaps the healthy thing to do. Or you eat small amount of 3 meals a day, small amount. and healthy as we get older, as seniors. And so you don't eat one meal, lunch or dinner or breakfast. It doesn't mean you can't eat again, and you can, up to you. So it's like that. If you miss one session or one day or 2 days or 1 week or maybe months, then you can start and where you left and renew again. So the way to start is go back to six session guru yoga, and that's the way. That's the way to do. And then you do the commitments that you have, the sadhanas, and whichever sadhanas you have practice, you go back there, practice. So I will now go back to this um, mm, part of the Bodhisattva vow, cultivating Bodhisattva vow. You have to meditate on just the advantage of cherishing oneself and advantage of cherishing for others. So there is a disadvantage of cherishing oneself, because when we are cherishing ourselves all the time, then we become selfish, right? And it's not right. Why are we cherishing so much ourselves? Why don't we do something for the world? Do something for our community? Do something for the society? Why not we share our Dharma practice? Or why not we share our wealth, share with others? And we're all interdependent. For our own survival, we need other people. Other people need us. We need animals. We need plants and trees for our own survival. We need, even little creatures, and we think we don't need them. And yes, directly you don't need them, but they have their own purpose. And like say snakes and lizards and so on and so forth, birds, and of course, and we need all of those. We're all interconnected. So why not support NGOs and organizations that dedicated for preservation of environment and wildlife and the world and so on and so forth, or share our time and energy and wealth with the less fortunate people. So trying to be generous and think about advantage of cherishing others. So when you think about when you're cherishing others, and that's beautiful mind, beautiful act. And it's a noble act. Cherishing others and doesn't mean you have to be always busy. Cherishing others doesn't mean that you have to have tons of money, and doesn't mean that you have to spend so much time. Today we have technology, and you can do a lot of things. Use the technology. You can go to online and something, and then you can just donate money, e-transfer, and world money and transferring, or there's many methods. I don't even know myself all these things. I know a little bit about e-transferring or banking, sending money to the bank, wiring money to the banks. Banks or monasteries, schools to India and so on and so forth, different places. I have done that, and I still do that regularly, and sending donations to monasteries in India, nunneries in India, and I'm head of the Gandhian Relief Organization, Gandhian Relief Project. We have been working. We have a wonderful NGO which is called Gandhian Relief Project, and we've been operated for 30 years now. We support monasteries in India, Ladakh, monasteries and nunneries in India, Ladakh, Nepal, Mongolia, Tibet, and we support schools. We support orphanages in Tibet and in Mongolia, and build health clinics. I have we build a health clinic in Tibet, in my hometown, Zado. We built a health clinic in South India, Sarah Monastery. Sarah G Healthcare Center was built by Gandhi Relief Project way back in 1980s. And we also organized cataract surgeries in Tibet twice. Myself and my sister, Dekila, organized and cataract surgery in my hometown. And so we done lots of stuff, lots of things. And we supported 8 nunneries in Zanskar Valley in Ladakh. And so I'd like to ask you to, if you're interested, please go to gandhinrelief.org, gandhinrelief.org, and you'll find that we have a wonderful website, and you can go there. And if you'd like to, if you can send some donations, it would be good. And even right now, we're supporting nunneries in Tibet, in Ladakh. And we send money every year to Ladakh and Zanskar. And also at the moment, we're collecting some donations for Shakyamuni Monastery in South India. And now, as you know, the pandemic is so difficult in India. So we are raising funds for buying oximeter, oxygen concentrator, the machine you plug on the wall and then plug onto the mouth, oxygen. Fortunately, the monasteries don't have cases right now because the monks are always monks. They're strict. They close the gates, but at any time these virus can creep in and to somebody not knowingly, and you don't even know who's God. So then once it gets in, then and it's infesting and infecting everybody so fast. So we're preparing right now, and the monastery, I told them, go ahead and buy those oxygen concentrator, what it's called, and then they will reimburse money. We'll send the money to them. So that's what we're doing. And please go to the gandhinrelief.org, and if you're interested, and if you can send donation, that would be very helpful. And this is my request, and I feel very sad what's happening in the world, especially in India. India is an unbelievable good country. India opened their arms for all the refugees from all over the world, refugees from Bangladesh, refugees from way back in late 50s, 60s, 70s, refugees from Tibet, refugees from Pakistan, refugees from Bangladesh, and then recently refugees coming from Myanmar, from not the recent one, but before, 2 years ago, or Rohingya crisis, and India opened the door again. Lots of thousands Rohingya Muslim refugees now arrived in India. Indian government is unbelievable, so generous. India's got already 1 billion people, so crowded, but they open their arms and willing to support all the refugees. There is no country like in India, not only the biggest democracy in the world, but they support everybody. And so many Tibetans. Myself, I went to university in Varanasi, Sanskrit University, and I received scholarship from Indian government. Those days, 100 rupees for a month, 1 month. That was back in 1971, 72, 73. So today, 100 rupee is like about less than $2, and less than $2. And about 100 rupees is a lot of money then, way back then. And it's all relative, right? So I'm very grateful for for India, Bharat Mata. In India, we say Bharat Mata. So can't forget, and I would like to request you So, all right. So cherishing for others, then meditate on exchanging the attitude of oneself with others. So I didn't talk about this last time. I like to talk a little bit about meditation on exchanging the attitude of oneself with others, right? So meditation on attitude of oneself with others is involved with analytical meditation. So you sit cross-legged or sit half cross-legged or sit on a chair, sit on a bench, whichever you, if you can't sit, you sit on a chair. So then we do analytical meditation, exchanging the attitude of oneself with others. So what does this mean, exchanging the attitude of oneself with others? What kind of attitude we are talking about? The attitude is, my attitude is, as I mentioned before, cherishing myself is my attitude. And not cherishing enough for others. That is my attitude. So Tibetan word, English word is attitude. Tibetan word is samlo, samlo tangchok, samlo tangdang. Tangdang se na kenza chado sigdi kenza chado tangdang right, tangchok, samlo tangchok. The way you think about, and samlo means samba is same, lo is also mine. Tangchok means like the way you kind of possession your mind, attitude. And if you feel, oh, I'm an important person, and then that's attitude, right? And you have some sort of ego, and a pride, Or if you say, I'm not good, I'm not good enough, that's also attitude. Your attitude is wrong. You don't have enough self-confidence. So attitude, so different attitude. The attitude of exchanging the attitude of oneself with others means so. I'm now from now on, I will now develop concern, develop compassion for others, and I will consider the development of concern, development of sympathy, development of empathy, development of joy for others more than development of self-cherishing. Focus my mind internally, inwards. So I will focus my mind outward and towards all the beings, sentient beings, and cherish others more than cherishing myself. And that's the attitude, changing the attitude. And I will consider and recognize and cherishing others is not only more important, but it's awesome mind. It's more beautiful mind than cherishing myself all the time. Me. Right? So you do analytical meditation, analyze this way. Then meditate on that. So let's meditate. We're going to meditate for about 10 minutes, maybe close to 10 minutes, and then have time for dialogue, question and answer. So this time I would like to ask you to meditate on exchanging the attitude oneself with others. This is a method of bodhicitta, exchanging the attitude oneself with others. And so that means you sit comfortably, quietly, and concentrate your mind on what is the disadvantage of cherishing oneself, and what is advantage of cherishing for others. What kind of advantage is there when you're cherishing others? What kind of disadvantage is there when I'm cherishing myself? We ask that question and then trying to find answer. We do this analytical meditation now. Thank you very much. This time, if you have questions regarding Bodhisattva vow and also meditation on bodhicitta, you are most welcome. No questions?
No questions yet, Rinpoche, no.
Yeah.
I guess one thing we could start with is a typical question people ask in these is when does cherishing others become detrimental, like idiot compassion?
Say again?
When does cherishing others become idiot compassion? When does it become too much?
So you are saying, when does the cherishing other become idiot compassion?
Mm-hmm.
Well, the word idiot compassion is not really Tibetan Buddhist word.
No.
And we don't have word idiot compassion. It was a term that was created by a famous Tibetan Lama called Chogyam Trungpa, which he used that word. And as in sort of Western concept. But we have something close to that, idiot compassion. And see, the thing is, usually the compassion is always good. There is no limit. You can have compassion. You can practice compassion. Like Chenrezig. Chenrezig, the Bodhisattva Avalokiteshvara, is Tibetan word is Chenrezig. He practiced compassion, so much compassion. Then he was so totally exhausted and burnt out. And then he cried so much. And his tears turned into pond. And then Dara appeared in this pond, right? So, limitless compassion, unconditioned compassion. And we don't call that is idiot compassion, right? And I think there is a place for idiot compassion, which is you practice compassion for everybody, which is good, great. But then there are some people, due to their mind is unwell and a little bit twisted mind and confused mind, then when you practice compassion, and then they take advantage of your compassion. And they see your compassion is some kind of weakness. And also, because you have compassion, that you can't say no, and they keep asking, help me, do this, do that for me. A kid just pushing as far as he can. And or you are so generous, right? And then everybody talks about, oh, this man is so generous. Then start calling you saying, please lend me money, He can't say no, he's so compassionate. He's basically lend me money. And I know this happens to some people. Then you lend money and then suddenly the guy disappears. He changes the phone number. You can't even reach him anymore. He changes the mobile phone number. Can't reach. So So then he's not paying back your money that you lended, whatever. Basically, purely taking advantage, and then he's creating bad karma, right? Stealing money, and you provided a condition for him to stealing money from you. So then, in this kind of situation, then I think you could say idiot or compassion, just giving and giving, and too much giving without thinking, and sort of blind mind, say, okay, I have to practice bodhisattva vow. I practice compassion. I'll just give us whatever. Doesn't matter who they are, randomly kind of giving, and that's what it means. So your answer for your question is you need wisdom of giving. 6 parameters, 6 perfections. First one is generosity. The last one is wisdom, right? So each 6 parameter has 6. Each one has 6. Total of 36, right? And so giving, for example, is giving of wisdom, or in other words, wisdom of giving, maybe. I'm not sure which one. Wisdom of giving means, so you're not just giving blindly, give with wisdom. Don't give for the sake of giving. Like, say, birthday present or Christmas present, you're just running around and trying to buy something. Okay, here it is. And that's not a wise thing to do. So use the wisdom, and then it could help, could solve the problem.
Thank you. Christine McEwen asks, is it possible to have the Tibetan words of the Bodhisattva vows put on the website? I think we can do that.
Which one?
The Tibetan words of the Bodhisattva vows.
Tibetan words?
Transliteration.
You mean all the detail?
Yeah, so she can read them.
Bodhisattva vow?
Yeah.
Janju Sumbe Domba.
Yeah.
Janju Sumbe Domba. That's a Tibetan word. Janju Sumbe Domba. Domba means vow. Domba. So tabe Domba. Ngagi Domba. Janju Sumbe Domba. Domba means vow. Janju Sumbe. Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
All right.
And then Rosemary asks, I've been thinking about this for a while now. How do we make everyday acts such as gardening not self-cherishing acts?
Gardening?
Yeah. Everyday acts. How do we do that? How do we make them not self-cherishing?
Well, you're growing, you have garden, right? Garden. She has garden. She's working in the garden. Mm-hmm. Well, then you share the vegetables with other people. You're working in garden, growing food, right? So you share it. And when harvest time, you share, give to other people. Then it can't be selfish, right? Mm-hmm. If you don't share only for yourself, then that could be a problem. Mm-hmm. So then if you're, it's a simple, you just share the vegetable with others, how much you can eat, right? Mm-hmm. So if you're concerning, when you're gardening, maybe I'm becoming selfish, but then if you just, sometimes ask somebody else to come help you, work together, sharing that act of gardening is wonderful art, a wonderful act, wonderful art. Then an art of digging mud, then an art of putting post, then an art of putting fence, then an art of planting vegetables and growing fruit trees, and then an art of picking fruits, then an art of sharing the fruits, vegetables with others. And then sharing is the key thing. Then you cannot become selfish. And working together in the garden, you give him or her opportunity to work together in the garden. That itself is gift, because then you walk around digging and pouring water, and spend time in beautiful day in the garden, and then it's a wonderful therapy, wonderful cleansing, and Buddha himself gave teachings for 25 years in a place called Jatawana Grove. Jatawana Grove. So it's a forest. And Buddha, I don't think, did a gardening or growing food. But Buddha himself stayed in this beautiful grove and he meditated and practiced and gave teachings. And other people come. So many Buddha, bodhisattvas, monks, and nuns, lay people come. They sit there, meditate, study, and they enjoy the beauty, the beautiful garden. And I'm not sure exactly what they had in Jatawana Grove, but I'm sure there are lots of food, vegetables should grow there too, naturally, or wild berries and so on and so forth. And it's not very far from the Himalayas, foothills of Himalayas. Jatawana Grove, Shiravasti, I've been there myself. Clearly you can see the beautiful Himalaya ranges, mountains, and so Buddha spent a lot of time in the garden, sacred garden. When you grow food in the garden with love, with joy, and with meditation, you meditate there, then the garden becomes, your garden becomes sacred garden, and then you grow the food with the love. That food becomes most beautiful food and nutritious food, and and of course organic food, and also you can share with that food with insects, share with birds. If birds come eat, you let them eat some, not everything, but share. So it gives you a lot of opportunity to meditate.
Good, thank you. Ben Hume asks, without invading the mind stream of others, what are the best wishes or blessings we can wish for others?
Invading others' mind.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know when you say invading others' mind. So the key thing is meditate on bodhicitta. You generate wishing bodhicitta first, then you practice practical bodhicitta. So, and then it helps, and you sharing the bodhicitta, generating loving kindness to other people. And that word, that is not invading. So the word invasion is usually aggressive. Usually it is inappropriate and invading, right? And so you taking over somebody's territory or imposing your view on others, whatever. So we don't need to use the invasion. And if you want to use the word invasion, you say, okay, I will not do not invade other people's mind or intuiting other people's mental space, just like physical space. We don't invade other people's physical space. Likewise, we do not take advantage of invading or impose other people's mental space.
Thank you. Jess Watson asks, with the bodhisattva vows that you've given today, is that available to people who will watch this afterwards in the future? Can they recite it with you and renew their bodhisattva vows?
They can.
Yeah,
they can. Well, when you look at YouTube and you watch YouTube, it's no different than you watching now or you watch later, right? You see the same person, you hear the same voice, you're right there. Yeah.
Perfect.
All right. Good.
That's what we have.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you. See you next week.
Thank you.